guys, what's up? Kyle Novak here, and today I'm doing an oil change on the Mustang real quick, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. This will be on the 4.6 liter GT. It's very similar to the 4.0. The filter is almost in the exact same spot. It's really easy to do, and you can save yourself a lot of money doing it yourself. I think I spent like 30 bucks on all the full synthetic oil I need at Walmart. The filter's like $2, so $32, and I got a full synthetic oil change as opposed to take it to a shop and spending like $55 to $100. So, all right, first thing I'm gonna do is jack up the car. All right, jack up the car. You can do it in the middle, I guess, if you want, but I don't really want the car to be in my way, so I'm gonna go by the pinch well so I can put jack stands under the edge of the car. Okay, we're a little fucking higher. God damn. Next thing you want to do, what I always try to do is minimize how many times I have to get up and get back down again. So I grab everything I know I'm going to need. Got my oil filter wrench, this type I use. Look like, you know, big pair of plier, 4-step style. Got my 1/2-inch wrench and all of my sockets I'm going to need. You only need one size socket. I don't remember the exact size, so it's either 13 or 15. I just take my whole quick set down there with me. This way, you know, you don't have to get up again, back up and back down. Because once you're down there, it goes really quick. What you want to do when you're down here is locate your oil filter. We're on the driver's side of the car right now. Just go straight up, and there's your oil filter. I use Motorcraft. They actually have a decent flow rate, and they're not too bad. So I use that. It's really easy to get to, right up in the open. Next thing you want to do is identify where your oil plug is. My oil plug's right here on the oil pan, right behind the subframe. Well, I mean the front cross member. And want to look at it. Just make sure that your plug's not damaged. Make sure it's not rounded off, anything like that. Mine's a little beat up because it's old. I'm probably going to replace the next oil change. But it's not round or anything like that, and I know it comes in and out because this is the third oil change I've done on this car. And also while you're down here, if you got greasable fittings like I do, check your boots. Make sure that everything is still greased up and good. Alright, next step we're going to be undoing the oil plug. So the next thing you want to do, figure out the size. Mine's a 16. That doesn't mean yours is going to be a 16 because they make a lot of aftermarket bolts for these oil plugs. So what you want to do is go ahead and get your wrench on there. Make sure you're going the correct way when you go to loosen, because you could do a lot of damage to the threads of your drain plug if you go the wrong way. Alright, there's a technique to not dropping your plug in the oil. Just keep a good hand on, never let go, and hold it like that, and then there you go. Now the plug's sitting over here, it's not dropped in the oil and all disgusting. Alright, let that drain for a while till it's almost done, and then you can go ahead and loosen up your filter. Once it gets down to a real slow drip, you can go inside. You can probably put your plug back in, it really doesn't matter. There's always going to be a little bit of oil left in the bottom of your pan. Also, while you're in there, take a good look at your threads on your bolt for your oil pan, because if you see any type of damage on the thread lines or anything like that, or weirdness, you should replace it, because if you put these back in when they're damaged or the threads are slightly messed up, you could damage your oil pan. And doing the oil pan on a Mustang isn't that easy because, well, there's a lot of shit in the way. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this back in. I'm just always put it in by hand the first couple turns to make sure everything lines up correct. Do not immediately go straight to wrench, because you won't feel it if there's something wrong with the threads. The torque on these are 10 to like 18 foot-pounds. So I'm pretty good at not overdoing it. I'm not going to use a torque wrench for this. Doesn't take a whole lot. It's not a lot of foot-pounds. So don't be cranking on that shit, or you're going to have problems the next time you come under your car. Thing you want to do is loosen up your filter, and I use these types of pliers just because they're a lot easier to get on stuff. I'm not sure. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm not using my phone to check my angle. Go towards the driver's side of the car on the front of the filter when you're on the front of the engine. Make sure you put your catch can underneath it, because a bit of oil will come out. Alright, now here comes out the oil. I just dropped all you guys, I'm sorry. Alright, once it stops dripping, starts to drip slowly, you can just pull it out. Okay, maybe one of these days it's going to come off. It's a lot of threads on this. Alright, so once you get it off, first thing you want to do is make sure that the gasket came off with it. And if you don't know what an oil filter gasket is, it is this. Trying to get it in the light, right? There is a rubber gasket right here. This is your gasket I'm talking about. Sometimes if you don't lube it up when you put it on the car, it will get stuck on the car. When you go put your new filter on, you'll be double gasketed, and you're going to make a huge ass mess in your garage. So try not to do that. Another thing you want to do is clean off all your threads. And so I go to Harbor Freight and just buy the cheap ass rags. Wipe it all down, make sure you're good to go there. Clean off your threads. And wipe down everything around it that's making a mess. And then put your filter on. You want to put some oil on your gasket for your filter. Some people might criticize me for this, but I just literally just smack it on, rub it on there a bit on the old oil, and then you get a nice bit on there, and you're able just to put it back on. If you want, you can grab your new oil jug, put it on your finger, and rub some on there. Don't use your wrench again to put this back on. I always just arm crank it on there. You're only supposed to put them hand tight. If you got oil on your hand, grab your rag. The Fram filters are a little better for this because they actually have a tough grip on them. They're easier to grab. Alright, then next step is to go up there and start putting oil in your car. It's not that hard to do your oil change, actually. It's really easy. Back up top, you want to put your oil in your car. Ford Mustangs recommend, basically all use the V8 from like 1996 and newer, recommend 5W20 oil. I use full synthetic, and this car, because it's used on autocrosses and it's run a red line a lot. It takes 6 quarts. This car almost always takes 6 quarts. That doesn't mean yours is going to. I would say start off at 5.5 and then go to 6. But I know this car takes exactly 6, so I'm just going to pour 6 straight in it. Alright, there actually is a trick to pouring 5-quart containers of oil. Most people want to pour it like this and it glugs. If you pour it sideways, you'll get no glugs and it'll pour out really smoothly, and you can put the 5 quarts in extremely fast. But you need to watch out you don't overload your funnel. I always shake mine off for a bit. Next we got the single quart. Single quarts are a little easier, just pour them like you would grab them. Alright, next you want to take a funnel out. Try not to make a mess. I usually just throw it back in here. Put your cap back on. And start your car up and check for leaks. Have a manual car. First thing you want to do is check to make sure you are in neutral. You do not want your car to go rolling off your jack stand as soon as you release the clutch. So. Next thing you want to do is look underneath it, check for oil leaks, where your oil filter and your oil plug are. It looks all good, don't see anything down there. If you double gasket your car, you'll know like immediately because it comes out like a water fountain. If a waterfall, I mean, if that happens, immediately shut your car off to not cause any engine damage. Thing you want to do is check your dipstick. I'm doing more work to my car, so I left it up in the air, but I do recommend you usually check when it's on the ground so you get a nice level reading. On Fords, I like to leave them off for a couple of minutes to let the oil settle. It takes a while for it to get down into the crankcase sometimes. So grab a rag, kind of clean it off. Make sure you got everything off there, and so you can get a good, nice, solid reading. Usually leave it in there for a couple of seconds. Just make sure the oil gets up to stick. So since my car is at a bit of an angle, obviously it's not reading correctly, but this hashtag area is the safe range. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but right now it's almost in the middle, a little less in the middle, but that's because my car is at a really bad angle. Then you just want to put it back in and make sure you always put your oil cap back on. You do not want to have any issues with the car making a big ass mess, so just make sure it's on. I'm a stickler, it's got to go the right way. Alright, that's basically it. Alright guys, now that the oil change is done, hopefully you guys have found that helpful. It's not necessarily hard to do. That's why I was showing the video. A lot of people spend a lot of money getting these cars serviced at Ford or at other places, and I literally just did a whole entire oil change on it in 35 minutes. If you guys want to see like how to check your how to check your transmission fluid and rear diff fluid, you could do that on a manual car. Some people think it's sealed. It is doable on this car. I could show that if there's any interest. If you guys want to see a follow-up video where I check the transmission fluid or the diff fluid, just comment below and I'll make a follow-up video of that. I don't want to do it in this video because it's kind of a novice how to do an oil change by yourself video on your own. So if you guys liked it, please like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Alright guys, have a good one. See you in the next video.